Okay, I'm going to get right to it. Talking about enclosures, talking about how to open up your bass lines, how to add some color to it, okay? How to play the wrong notes, okay? Because playing the right notes all the time sucks, okay? Now, I've constructed a really simple bass line for you to follow along that illustrates the concept I want to cover here. This is like super important for bass players, okay? My bass line is going to go from really simple quarter notes, okay? And I know I lost about half of you right there. But we're going to play C, F, okay? That's our chord progression. It doesn't get more inside than that. These are all just major chords, okay? So I just noodle around in there. I added I think one chromatic note there. But I was purposely trying to stay really like inside, okay? I want to show you, I want to take this progression and introduce this concept of enclosures, okay? So, and just really briefly, an enclosure is really simply just a way of like targeting a note, setting up a note using an enclosure device to lead your ear towards that note, okay? And the enclosure I'm going to be using in this example is like the simplest enclosure there is. But it will illustrate the concept, I think, really well. And so the enclosure I'm going to be talking about here is the simple half step above, half step below, target note enclosure. That's the formula for it. So you find your target, play a half step above, half step below, land on your target. It's that simple. And what this starts to do is introduce tones into your bass lines and your melodies that don't belong to the key, okay? We're not really thinking about, hey, do these enclosure notes like belong to that chord I'm supposed to be supporting? You throw that out the window. This is about setup, okay? So I'm going to play this bass line for you, and it goes like this. I'm going to play it really slow. We're going to go from C. I'm going to go C. So the first, in each of these, in this example I'm going to show you, the first two quarter notes of the bass line are going to be chord tones of the chord I'm playing. The third and the fourth are going to be the enclosure notes for the target I'm hitting, okay? So I'm going to throw you through a bit of a loop here really quick. This may be an eye-opener for some of you. So I'm going to go root, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going from C to F. I just approached the third of the F major chord, right? With an enclosure. So root, 5 enclosure, third root, do, I'm going to continue that bass line and enclose because I played 1, 2, enclosure, root of the C again. I'm going to go C to the 5. I'm going to enclose the 5th of that G. So you'll see what I just did there is I used that very same enclosure to target different chord tones of that bass line, okay? So in the first case, I targeted the third of the F. When I came back around to the C, I targeted the root. And when I landed on my G, I targeted or enclosed the fifth. And what this ended up doing is introducing a bunch of chromatic notes into the bass line, but they're positioned in rhythmic spaces where, like, it's okay, it's fine, because you're out, but then you find like, oh, okay, I'm in a safe place when I land on that one. So it's surprising. It adds like an element of like dissonance and surprise to your bass lines. So you can hear that bass line with these, and I'm repeating like I'm really like probably overusing that enclosure idea. You know, it may start to sound repetitive, but I think it illustrates the point I'm trying to make. You know, that if we think about this idea of like setting up our targets, it's in the setup where we go outside, but then we resolve. So stepping outside gives us this like really nice like ebb and flow between like a sensation of like, oh, we're moving, we've landed, oh, we're moving. And we want this in our music. Like the music gets boring if we don't feel a sense of like this ebb and flow. It's just a very natural element in music. So let me see if I can play that bass line for you without screwing it up. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 5, enclosure, 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 enclosure. You guys can slow that down. You know, I don't know if you know this, on YouTube you can slow down the play rate if you want to just like walk through that. But there's like two goodies in this lesson for you guys. For a lot of you guys, you may not know, you know, you don't always have to land on the root. You don't always have to land on the root, especially on the downbeat of the 1. Try landing on like the 3 or the 5 or the 7, for God's sake. You know, at first it's going to be like, whoa, but you know, like it's just the ear will hear it. Yeah, and start playing around with these enclosures. Like, you know, I just did simple quarter note example there, but I think a line like that, you know, it's going to have, it's, you know, you can go and look at that line, okay, and analyze, well, what is he doing there? Like, it's always playing that, like these other like alterations and this and that. No, don't think about it like that. I'm just playing simple like major chord tones, and I'm enclosing like, I'm just setting up enclosures on the downbeat of the 1. That's all I'm doing. And I'm getting these chromatic lines out of it that you'll never get by thinking in like scale. I'm not a big proponent of like, you know, trying to understand like what scales I should play to like, no, I just don't even think that way. For at least 15, 20 years I've been playing, and I spend all my time thinking about what are the important tones I need to hold on the downbeats, and how can I get to where I want to go. And enclosures are like, they're just like so important in this. And they're gonna sound original. How refreshing is that? Anyways, leave any comments, or if you want more like this, just say so. Leave a comment, give me a thumbs up. Hey, maybe subscribe. I'm almost like at the point where I've got like, I think I almost have 500 subscribers. I can't believe it. But yeah, that's pretty small fries. Anyways, I hope you guys like this stuff. Stay cool. Don't tell anybody else, but the bass is, it's the baddest instrument there is.